Hello there Scapers, my name is Xenavilius and welcome back to another video. This time we're going to do a patch notes video. These used to be quite popular back when I used to do them regularly, and today they've brought out a ton of patches and I thought it was worth making a video because there's just so many good ones and so many important ones. So we are back on it and we're going to start off in player owned ports. Talking of player owned ports, it is going to be a recurring theme over the month of December, as for the entire month from November the 30th to January the 7th you'll get 25 voyages per day instead of 15. All player-owned ports voyages will return 30% extra resources or trade goods, and you can also get the barmaid special voyage on Saturdays and Sundays as well as Thursdays. So that's going to happen for the entire month of December. There's obviously going to be winter weekends starting this weekend with Elite Dungeons and Dungeoneering. I'm not going to go through every single one, but if you're interested, have a look in the comment section below for the link to each of them. They go on from this November the 30th, this Friday, all the way to January the 7th. Now let's start with the Washanko Isles map. So if you go to the archipelago map, now you're going to be able to see details on every single region when you hover over it. So you got the islands within the regions as well as the region itself with some information on that region over here. It's not perfect. I think they need to fix a few bugs here, like it's not showing region information when you hover your mouse over certain areas, but it's pretty good. I myself have not read any of these despite doing ports almost every single day, and yeah, I guess this is a spiritual successor to Canman's ports logs, if anyone remembers that. You probably don't, because he did it for about 2 days and left. So yeah, anyway, let's move on to the other patches. The first one is that you're going to have healing information on foods that can only be eaten with multiple bites. So previously I think the healing information was omitted for foods that were half eaten or a third eaten or 2/3 eaten, but now you got the information there. As you can see, half meat pizza, 1/3 blue blubber jellyfish, 2/3 has that information, heals to 750, and you also got the wilder pie, so 1100, and it's 1100 again, even though there's half left, so that's fine. The 3 spirit shields you can get from Corporeal Beast now have tooltip information, so it tells you what it does. It reduces damage received by 30%, reducing prayer points by 50% of the block damage. So this is the Elysian Spirit Shield. I've got the Arcane in my bank. I've also got the Divine, so that's pretty good. And one of the most important and underrated updates of the day is probably the Pack Yak. Now the Pack Yak lasts 64 minutes. It used to last 58 minutes, which was really annoying when you were doing 1 hour instanced bossing, because obviously you'd have to bring an extra pouch just for those extra 2 minutes of your instance. Now it lasts 64 minutes, which is amazing. I've got to say, I really like this update. I like updates like this, you know, just small little things that bring a lot of usefulness, bring a lot of joy. It doesn't really cost Jagex that much effort to do them, but I'm glad they did them. I really like that update. We are on the Calgarian dungeon to test out a few things. Firstly, apparently the provoke ability can no longer be queued if queuing isn't on. So previously, I believe this is what they're hinting at, is previously what used to happen is that the provoke ability would be in the queue when you had revolution on, even though you didn't have ability queuing on. Allow ability queuing while it's off. Let's have a look at how that works. Will it have queuing on? Well, it looks like they didn't fix that. What? Why would they say they fixed it? I clearly don't have queuing on. Let me try putting it on. So now I've got ability queuing on. I've got my provoke ability queued as the next attack. So I'm going to move that to Dragon Breath. So the first attack I do should be Dragon Breath, and now it's still using provoke. Now let me turn it off. Let me turn off ability queuing. See if it uses provoke. It shouldn't, but it does. What is going on? Next we have the ability to attack Calgarian demons while they're charging the ability, like that. So I was just able to attack that. Previously you weren't able to, I believe, or at least you weren't able to do damage with any attacks you were doing when it was charging its attack. Now you are, so let's try and get that happening again, because I think I missed. Okay, so as you can see, I was able to attack it while it was charging its ability, which is awesome. I think they've done something similar to the phase transitions between Rune Dragon's phases, which is awesome as well. I think that was a while back though, so good job on Jagex on that one. It was pretty annoying when I was hunting for my Calgarian titles for Trim Comp, but that was a while back, 2 years ago, wow. Another showstopper update for you guys is that Araxxor Hilt, that is eyes, webs and fangs, can now be disassembled for one Noxus component every single time guaranteed. Now, I wish this came out before I decided to do my previous video where I converted all my webs and eyes into staffs by buying the leg and made a loss sometime and decided to sell it. I wish I didn't do that. I wish I disassembled it and this update came out before I made that video, but oh well, you gotta live with that. So yeah, good update, more than good actually, because this now allows people to do something with their unspent eyes and webs, which are usually loss making, and it will probably mean that the price of Nox staffs and Nox bows will go up because more and more people will decide not to make them, but rather to disassemble the eyes and webs for their own Noxus component gains to make biting perks. So I guess it's a good thing for the economy. I just wish it came out a couple of weeks earlier, but oh well. Okay guys, next thing is tsunami. So tsunami used to work where it would only cast it in the direction you were facing rather than the target you had, but now it doesn't. So if I attack this guy and I face this direction, will it still cast it towards him? Yes it will. That's what I meant. Nice one. And let's try that again once I kill this charger here. Alright, let's move that way and go bam. There we go, target that one, and it's targeting only that one, not the northeast where I would have done literally 0 damage because there are no charges in that direction. Okay, for the third showpiece patch note of this week, we have the ability to join another person's island at the Ark, that's it. So if you go to island settings at Quartermaster Gully, it doesn't have to be in Waiko, you could go to the Quartermaster in Port Sarim as well. If you go to island settings, you can toggle whether you want to allow everyone on your island, just friends or no one. I'm going to say just friends. I'm going to try joining my friend's island, so I'm going to try joining Wildman's island here. Apparently he's not on his island, so you can't visit it. Are you on your island?
I am.
Interesting. You got a private on? Maybe you need to toggle the settings on your end. How about you try and join my island? I've ensured that only friends can join my island. So I'm going to join an island. I'm in an island right now. Oh, you can catch this floating thingy. Alright, so we figured out that it only works on claimed islands, which kind of sucks, but it's not entirely useless. So I'm going to go to my claimed island. I've ensured I toggled this setting to allow friends to come to my island. So Wildman, if you would do the honors, you should be able to come to my island now. Nice, that's the first visitor to my island ever, so congratulations. Try chopping this, maybe. Okay, maybe not. Just want to relax, don't you? It shouldn't let you, and it doesn't. Okay, cool. So let me try and do that to yours. If you go to your island, let me try and island settings, join another player's island, Wildman, and nice. Let me try and do one of these mushrooms perhaps. Oh, you do have a treasure chest, don't you? Nope, you can't gather other players' resources.
Is there a coconut there for you?
I don't see any coconut, so it looks like you can't see the items on the floor that everyone else can. Literally the only thing you can do is catch orakamis. Why? Okay, so we figured out that going to your friend's island only works if your island is claimed. So I'm going to claim this and get rid of my other claimed island, which I've had for about 2 years. So bye bye. Here we go. So Drew, if you can join my island, you should be able to see an origami right in front of your face when you jump in here. Well, let me leave and reset this. Allow friends onto my island. Travel. Uncharted Isles. Claimed island. That origami is gone. God damn it. Yeah, we're on the same world. Hey, welcome. So we can't test out the origami thing because that just disappeared. But if you see one, don't catch it. Let me see that you're able to see the same one that I can see. But anyway, there's a treasure chest here. I haven't opened it, so it gives us an opportunity to see whether Wildman can open it or not. You're not meant to be able to, but you never know with Jagex. Can you open it? Okay, that puts it to rest. So Unfortunately, we haven't been able to test whether you can catch Araxxis, but we've been able to test that you can't gather resources and you can't open treasure chests. Can you try killing that jellyfish? Or can you even see that jellyfish? Okay, well, at least that works. Not sure what you can get from them, but cool. Next we have a solution to the annoying problem of not being able to close the treasure hunter button when you had other interfaces open. So for example, that wasn't clever. Let me check my enhanced Excalibur. Now I wasn't able to close this until I closed this window or anything else like a chat box, but now hopefully I should be able to. Let's try it with something else actually. Invention materials. Let's try and close that. Yep, nice. Thanks, Jagex. On the same note, when you have the treasure hunter item information open, which is the first time I've ever opened this interface, what? You will go back to the treasure hunter screen before you would go back to your normal default view of this. Next, you can now fill hidey holes even when the items used to fill them are worn instead of in your inventory. So if I wear this fire cape, this obsidian shield and the spork, create this hidey hole next to the sulfur pit in Tazar City. This is a master hidey hole, by the way. I've only built 2 out of 58. Maybe there's a video there. Now despite wearing those items I should be able to fill this, and yes I have, and those items are no longer worn by me. Cool, thanks Segix. Now compacted silver jewelry no longer degrades to dust when you use up all the charges. So now I've got 1 charge remaining in this compacted traveler's necklace. If I teleport to say the outpost using it, it says it has run out of charges. It can be recharged by using another traveler's necklace on it. Obviously I can't use it to teleport anywhere, but it still exists, so I don't lose that teleportation compactor that I used on it. As long as I use other regular traveler's necklace, fully charged traveler's necklaces on it, I should still be able to use it. Another thing is that they've now reduced the radius at which you get mana farm related messages. So if you were to go to the fishing guild and you were walking to the Ardoin lodestone or vice versa, you used to get mana farm related messages, and now you don't. So if I walk to the Ardoin lodestone, even if I respawned here, I would have got messages for it. But now they've tightened down that area, so it only affects the farm itself. So if I jump into the farm, now you can see that I've got a bunch of animals that have respawned and the whole environment's changed once I cross that threshold. Now if I jump out of that threshold again, it should all go away. Should being the operative word. But anyway, the point is that it works when you go in. If it doesn't really work when you go out, that's fine. But they've tightened down the boundaries, so nice. While we're in the mana farm, there's another cool mechanic they've added. So the buyers near the well would only spawn based on game mechanics to do with which animals were in your pen at any given time. But now you can actually click on contract options at Granny Potterington. Can we advertise what we're selling? Basically, whichever animal you want the buyer to appear for, you can say that over here, and that will override the existing game mechanic and make sure that buyer turns up at the next reset. So I want to advertise for dragons. Well, I've got a dragon buyer here anyway, but I'm going to do that anyway because that's the most logical choice for me right now. And I can override that whenever I want as well. So you can go back to word of mouth, which is the normal game mechanic, by clicking on return to word of mouth. You can set this for each type. So small, you want to get specific people. Let's say I want to get Chinchompa buyers, so I'm going to click that. Which medium animal? Well, I don't really care, so I'm going to return to word of mouth. Which large animal? Well, I want dragons. So you can talk to her again and reset it if you want to word of mouth or to some other animal whenever you want. While we're on the topic of mana farm, they've also increased the values of shiny boosting traits, i.e. the traits that improve your chance of getting the shiny perk. So they've improved the chance of sparkling by 1%, glistening by 1.5% and radiant by 2.5%, which apparently is an improvement. I'm not sure what the figures were earlier, but I'll take their word for it. Ali Morrisane, if you remember him from your trim requirement, or if you just did his rune puzzles for fun, which is the least likely option, now has a right click trade option, so you can bypass a bunch of dialogue. Pretty long overdue, but not many people use it, I guess, these days. I would like to have a look at your general stock. Oh, chicken. Yeah, while we're here, I wanted to cover a few things that I'm not able to showcase. One of them is that mutated barge, fury and flurry codex drops will now be broadcast to friends. That's pretty cool. They are very valuable, so why wouldn't they be? Challenge scroll lead up dialogue with Izzy No Beard is now shortened after the first time you've done the clue, so you don't have to go through the whole dialogue again. Aquarium building materials obtained from prawn balls may now be disassembled. I'm guessing this is a big relief for a lot of people in a similar way that the Araxxi Hilts were to some people as well. Messages noting you earn partial fill thresholds are now caught by the chat spams filter. That's nice because there would have been too much spam otherwise. That kind of still applies to a few other things in RuneScape I think they still need to fix. They've removed some blocking which prevented Araxxor from being able to move between phase 2 and 3 whilst on path 3. I personally never experienced that, but maybe it's a newish bug because I haven't done Araxxor in a while. Bleeds will no longer deal 1 damage on their first hit in PvP. Well, that is a big relief, but I'm not sure how many people actually do PvP in EOC. And finally, instance creation player limitation now works correctly for certain boss fights. So hopefully you will only allow the number of people you wanted to, not any more, not any less. Again, I haven't experienced that, but that's because I haven't done much boss hosting before. But now we're going to move on to the last patch note, which is, drumroll, this is going to come as a massive relief to all of you guys. Attempting to open a door behind an unlock action will no longer say you can't reach the door. It will actually unlock the door provided you have the key. That's going to be such a relief for everyone doing Dungeoneering. I know that was one of the most annoying things about Dungeoneering, amongst other things that they are still yet to fix. They've moved the ready and leave options on the end of the Dungeoneering dungeon complete interface to the bottom. So if we skip this, let's have a look. There we go. So you don't have to go looking for which of these numbers is you and then right click and then ready or leave. Very obvious now. That's a big improvement. Things like these they need to do more of, especially within Dungeoneering. I'm glad they've made a start, but it is only a start. So I'm going to leave this because I can't get any more Dungeon XP because I'm 200 mil. Although I still should be doing Dungeoneering for the Gaudy chance, but oh well. Can't be bothered right now. So I've covered most of them, guys. I may have missed a few here and there. There are a few things I haven't covered, but I had to prioritize, otherwise this video would have been really long. But I would recommend that you check out Major Cities in RS, especially Prifddinas and Varrock, the new GE, because they have graphically updated it with Christmassy graphics. So I'd check those out. I'd also check out the Mining and Smithing beta because they've added a bunch of patches to that separately, which I'm not going to cover in this video. And finally, of course, the winter weekends. You want to do 72-hour marathons on the weekends that you're interested in, if possible. Just kidding, unless you want to die at the end of it, maybe. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I made a video like this. It doesn't take me that long to make, but I try only to make them when there are interesting patch weeks with lots of patches like this one. So if you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you think I could improve on something, please let me know. If you think I missed something really important and you want to tell others, please do that as well. Thanks for your feedback to my previous video. It was much better than I expected, so thank you very much for that. It's motivated me to make more videos. And yeah, I will catch you in the next one.
I'll take